Question from Pushpa and Sun Ramon.
Please, namaste, Pushpa Ma.
How does one stay unattached and behave with humility and self-dignity when insulted?
Wow! Namaste, that's a familiar question. And I'm dealing with that issue myself on many occasions today especially. And I just want to share with you the method that I use. Because the first and foremost contemplation that I maintain is, what is my goal? What am I trying to achieve in this circumstance? Do I want to be right, or do I want to win? Do I want to assert my egotism, or do I want to achieve my goal? Do I want to defeat the individual and show them that I am superior to the position that they put me in? Or do I want to achieve the object of my contemplation? And in maintaining this contemplation, Pushpa, I'm again and again drawn to the path of humility, because the softest thing in the world always overcomes the hardest thing. And the drip, drip, drip of the water cuts through the hardest stone, and the soft breeze wears away the mountains. In the same way, if we are soft and full of self-control, I'm not going to be conducted to the lack of dignity that you are exemplifying in this circumstance. You who are insulting me, I don't have to respond to your insult. I want to respond to the objective fact. What do I want to accomplish in this circumstance? And what is the best way to get what I want? I'm not here to win a popularity contest. I'm not here to demonstrate to you or to anyone else who is putting me down that I am better than being put down. I am not better than you, and I have every capacity to acquiesce and try to win the war, not just the little battle. I want to achieve the object of my contemplation, and that's going to make me very happy to surrender to you or submit to your, indulge you and make you feel superior because you can insult me, and now I'm going to achieve my goal. If I need your support, I'm going to negotiate with you. I have 4 tools in my chest. Shama, Dana, Danda, Bhed. Those are the 4 tools. Shama, I am going to maintain my equilibrium and my peace. I'm not giving you that. Dana means I'm going to give a little extra. I'm going to acquiesce in my position and give a little extra. Bhed means I'm going to sow dissension between you and your allies. I'm going to try and win away your support. If I can't win you, I'm going to win away your support. Oh, and Dund means okay. Well, all else fails. All right, if we have to, then we'll fight. As a last resort, we'll go to battle. So that's how I want to approach. The last thing in the world I want to do is to exert my authority and to respond to you with the lack of dignity that you responded to me. The last thing. The first thing, I'm just going to accept it in equilibrium. The second thing is, maybe I'll give a little extra. The third thing is, I will try to win over your allies. And last thing, we send the gladiators or the lawyers to court. I'll let them duke it out. Namaste.
A question from Ambika in Princeton.
Namaste, Ambika. You're already over on the other side of the continent. Namaste. And namaste to Sham and Pranam.
Namaste, Swami. Would you kindly talk to us about forgiveness, both forgiving others and ourselves? Thank you.
Oh, you know, it's such an important issue, Ambika. When we are confronted with a misdeed, or somebody has done wrong, or somebody has injured us in some way, again, we want to keep in mind, what is my goal here? If it's somebody in my family I'm going to be living with for the rest of my life, my goal is not to carry a grudge and bemoan the situation all the time. My goal is to harmonize the situation so we can move beyond it ever so quickly and get on to the business of living together. If it's a friend, why should I blow a beautiful friendship because of some miscalculation on my friend's part? I'm going to forgive them. Think of the greater good. What is the greatest harmony that you can bring to a situation? Now, if it's my own self that I have to forgive, that's a little more difficult. But I know that from the time of the rishis to the present time, everyone was singing Aparadha Sahasrani. I commit 1,000 mistakes, Sahasra, every day. Again, Adismriti Brantya, from ignorance, from forgetfulness, just plain stupidity. I made so many errors. Please, Mom, forgive me. All of that. You please forgive. Oh, may you be so gracious. I'm in good company. Shankaracharya sang the song. And all the rishis sang the song. It's in the Chandi, it's in the scriptures. They all had the same problem. Now, it's not just little me. I'm not the only one. So, if I can forgive the rishis of the past who sang such beautiful pleas for forgiveness, then certainly I can try to forgive this little rishi to be, the wannabe rishi in the present, so that I can move beyond all those mistakes. So the best thing we can do is read the literature and look at the histories and sing the songs. I mean, they all said Shamashwa, Kuputra Jayeta na Kwitapi na Kumata na Bhavati. Hey, the children can be bad. I'm a bad kid, I'm sorry. But a mama can never be bad. Mamas aren't bad. They're forgiven immediately. It's the kuputra, the bad kids, the kids who forget their mom. The only reason I did a stupid thing was I forgot my mom. If I remembered my mom, I would have said, Mom, what's the best thing for me to do in this situation? And she would have said, don't be stupid. And then you won't have to ask for forgiveness. But I didn't think about my mom. I thought about myself and what I want to get, and about me. And I thought about, well, I don't want to be treated like that. Let me respond emotionally. And then I made a bigger mess out of the relationship and out of the project and out of whatever it was. And at least I can forgive myself. I hope that maybe you could forgive me too. Maybe you could forgive me too. So I think that would probably be the best attitude for forgiveness. We need Shraddha and Shabari. We need faith and we need patience and we need Shanti. It's patient forgiveness. It means I can excuse you. Could you please excuse me a little bit? Could I excuse me a little bit? And then we'll spend the time and we'll invest in trying to become worthy of being excused. Showing that we are truly regretting making such a mistake. And we will comport ourselves in such a manner as to try our best not to make it again. I don't want to do the same thing. I mean, real stupidity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, hoping to get a different result. Now, once I know that that kind of activity, that kind of behavior, that kind of response is not going to bring me to where I want to be, then it is incumbent upon me to change my behavior. Sorry, when all else fails, I'm responsible. When I can't blame anyone else, then I can blame me. So I'll change my behavior, and then I can start to forgive myself. That's when the real healing takes place.
Question from Sadhana Shakti in Seattle.
Namaste, Sadhana Shakti. Namaste, Vivekananda.
Namaste, Guruji. Can you speak about Sankalpa Shakti and how the energy seems to go through the highs of devotion and the lows of no devotion in one's sadhana?
And it does. Mind is like a monkey. And it jumps from thought to thought. And it japata lapata. It jumps from Monday to Monday, pratikar shodha. He jumps from building to building and thought to thought and limb to limb, and I want to make my mind into Hanuman. So it jumps with pure devotion. So now we get excited and we start our sadhana and we have the devotion, we have the vitality and we have the vigor and we are moving in the direction of our cherished aspiration. And after a while my knees hurt, my back hurts, and I'm thinking about what I have to do and how can I make this go a little faster so I can get back to my other more important activities very quickly. And mind! Lalin bole bole mon re. Lalin bole bole mon re. Lalin bole mon erole acheton mon re. I'm calling you. This child is calling you. Mind. Come back here. Come back here. Don't be unconscious. Don't be out there and be so stupid you don't pay attention to what you're supposed to do. Mon, please come back here. I'm calling you, begging with you. Please cooperate with me. Sadhana Shakti, if you can't control your mind, which very, very few of us can. In fact, the ego got the boon that only the Divine Mother could control it. So all we can do is pray, mind, please come back here. And if you can't control your mind, you don't remember the song, you don't remember the mantra, just remember your knees. I have a sankalpa. Wherever the mind goes, that's his business. But I'm not moving my knees till I finish this sankalpa. I won't go following the mind. Okay, it's time to go. No. I'm going to keep the attitude of gratitude with me. Mom, you gave me this ecstasy. Now you're giving me this, this movie to watch. And I'm going to watch the movie, but I'm not going to move my knees. And when you're gracious to me, you'll remind me of the song, mind, come back here, come back here. And you'll bring it back and sing the mantra, sing it louder, sing it stronger, sing it more deeply, pay attention to its meaning, look for the words that you understand and apply them in your bhavana, in your feeling. Feel it. That's my suggestion.
Question from Nanda in San Jose.
Namaste, Nandama.
Swamiji, yesterday Maharaj gave such loving responses to our questions. He speaks from his position, but I am me, and I don't have the love that he has. How can I always come to a loving response in any situation without compromising what my head clearly tells me to do?
Nandama, turn on the switch. We already talked about that. Turn on the switch. Before you go into your negotiation with whatever you have to negotiate, turn on the switch. Where do I want to be? What's my goal here? My goal is to be in love and to have fun and to make everybody comfortable and put everybody in a good bob, and just turn on your switch. And now from that loving, generous place, let's negotiate what we have to negotiate. So Maharaj was, he just turned on his switch and leaves it on. The guy broke his switch. So what to do? You know, what do you want? You call an electrician? He broke his love switch. It just stays in the on position. Do the similar thing. Take that love and put it into every activity that you perform. And just keep the love there. And keep your switch on. Every time you start getting the blahs and drooping a little bit blue, or you lose your inspiration and you start just chanting the mantra so you can get to the end. Every time you find that happening, turn on your switch. Oops, the switch has a little bit of a glitch and it falls down by itself. Turn it back up. That would be the best way.
Question from Papia in Pennsylvania.
Namaste, Papia.
Namaste, Swamiji. How can we give all of our love to our family and friends without falling into Maya in the process? Love and promise.
We have to, Papia, we want to constantly remember, what is this love? What is this love that we're giving? I believe it's pure acceptance. It's pure generosity. It's pure giving without waiting for a return on your investment. The Maya that you're experiencing in your family is because your children, your spouse, your family members are not doing it the way you think it should be done. I question whether that's love or whether that's attachment. Because when you talk about love, you talk about pure acceptance. I accept you where you are, whatever you do, and I just give you a kiss and a hug, and I give you encouragement to make it better and to do the best thing. You do it your way. I know you cannot live my life. You can't live your life according to my dream. I cannot make a plan for you, my children, my spouse, my family members. All I can do is be me and accept you for wherever you're at. And where you're at is fine with me. I accept it, and I'll take whatever resources I have, whatever energy I have, whatever talent, skills, whatever capacity I have, and I will put it at your disposal to make it even better. I believe that's love. So the Maya of family relationships comes from the injury of your personal attachment, the way you think things should be. Not because of the way they are, but because the way you think the way that things should be, and they're not that way, then we have Maya and attachment. Now let's give up all this Maya. Sadke Maya Tyagabatora. Everybody give up your Maya and just enter into the space of love. And that love is just generosity. It's generosity of spirit. I don't want anything from you. I just want us to shine together. Like Samyata. In Sanskrit, shining together. To shine. In English, civilization. Give up this attachment and shine together. Just let your family members shine. You know, if you go this direction, this is what I perceive as the probable outcome of your actions. If you go this direction, this is what I perceive as the probable outcome of your actions. What outcome do you choose? I support you 100%, my family, and I will be there to try to help you in any way I can at the time you call for my help. That's a generosity of spirit. But to tell you, hey kid, you got to do it this way. You should do it that way. I don't believe that's going to bring you any closer relationship with your family. You'll create obstacles instead of unity. Namaste.
Ambika had a follow-up question on forgiveness.
Sure.
And also, she's in San Rafael, which is apparently also...
San Rafael.
Yeah.
San Rafael. San Rafael is just across the bridge. Namaste.
So, follow-up on forgiveness. Not everyone has such a beautiful perspective on forgiveness. Can you advise us on what to do when someone else doesn't forgive us and holds a grudge?
Oh, I would do that. I would do whatever you can, or whatever I can, in order to build a bridge and really communicate the sense or the extent of my regret for having injured them. And if that doesn't work, I would evaluate how much do I need that relationship. If I need the relationship, then I will go twice or 3 times and again, and I will bring whatever is necessary to project that sincerity, the sincerity of my request requiring their acceptance. And if I don't need the relationship, I say, hey, namaste. Thank you very much. I'm so sorry I injured you. Have a very good life. I give you my blessings, and I'm going about my life. And I would leave that relationship if it's not necessary. If it is necessary, I would do whatever I could in order to demonstrate the sincerity, how much I regret having injured them.
Question from Cameron in Cottonwood.
Namaste, Cameron Ma.
Is there a preferred way to ask for Ma's forgiveness when we have forgotten her?
Yes. It's called remembrance. And the greatest remembrance is sadhana. The disciplined activities which keep us focused towards that demonstration of respect towards the ones we love. Whether it be God, whether it be Guru, whether it be Divine Mother, whether it be Sri Ma, whether it be Ram, whether it be Hanuman, it doesn't matter the object which receives. If you give it to one, everybody receives. So if you want to sincerely to demonstrate that you are sorry for having forgotten, then remember. And remember with sincerity. And remember with discipline. It says, with discipline we bow down. It doesn't say, hey, hi Mom, sorry about that. Sorry I forgot you. It's not a familiar relationship. It's a very formal relationship. Okay, Mom. Jambu Dweepe, America Desh, California Pradesh. This is me sitting here right now, every day, doing this for you to demonstrate the sincerity of my devotion.
Question from Kalinanda in Barbados.
Namaste, Kalima, namaste.
Swamiji, we do want to reach the level of acceptance that you were talking about, but it seems so difficult. Where do we start? Or not?
We start with the first step. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. We start with the first step. And in our lexicon, in our tradition, the first step is Sriman Bhaganadipataye Namaha. Every time we sit down, the first step, the first mantra of every scripture is Sriman Bhaganadipataye Namaha. Where do you start? Page 1. Kalima, we just start by organizing our lives. Yam, making a discipline. Niyam, asan, sitting down. Pranayam, breathing according to the rhythm of the mantras. We've got the system. Pratamam Shailabutricha, first we get an inspiration. Dvitiyam Brahmacharini, then we start studying. Tritiyam Chandragandeti, then we practice. Kushmandeti Chaturthakam, and then we do sadhana, tapasya, purifying austerities. Kalima, the first step, you've taken that years ago. Don't worry about first steps, worry about the next step. What is the next step for us today? I want to organize our lives into... Chandragupta had a great guru, and Chandragupta Maurya, he was the king of the United India, and his guru's name was Chanakya. And Chanakya, of course, was a great scholar and philosopher himself. But one of the wonderful things he did for Chandragupta was to divide his day into several portions and say, this time you rise and pray, meditate, do puja. This time you have personal time to eat and be with your family. This time you attend to matters of state. This time you attend to matters of finance. This time you attend to matters of security. This time you go back and pray. He made his life into a discipline and made him one of the most successful kings or emperors of a united India. That's here in our history since 300 BC, we are remembering. So the most important thing you can do is make your discipline, make your budget, make your time, and then say the first mantra, Sriman Mahaganadipatake Namaha.
Another question from Pushpa. What is the most important quality that a disciple should cultivate?
I believe if disciples are very sincere, they have a tremendous hunger to learn. I used to follow my guru around with a pad and a pencil. I asked him every time, just as I asked the Swamiji last night, how can I organize my life around being efficient and loving God and doing the work of the world at the same time? And I wrote down every answer that he gave to me. And so I believe the most important demonstration of our humility and our surrender and our love and our respect is the desire to learn. And taking that learning experience into ourselves, I wrote it down in chicken scratches, and then I read it back, and then I typed it up, and then I put it into proper English, and then it became a book. And I didn't have any idea I'd become a bookie. But I made books filled with all the aphorisms of my guru. And I took those aphorisms, I took those sayings, and just like Jesus' disciples, you remember the document of Matthew and of Mark. Mark was a storybook about Jesus, the miracle worker, and Matthew was a book of aphorisms. And Luke came along and combined the two and made a book about this Rishi, this son of God who came down to earth and said all these beautiful things and did all these wonderful things. And I did something eclectic of the same level and made storybooks and history books and actually some philosophy books too. Some travel logs. I used to write novels, and I made a novel about a guy who went from corporate America, to become a sadhu wandering around India, and he met all these great people who told him all these wonderful things, and then he started to practice, and he never went back to corporate America. Those kinds of storybooks I wrote. And pretty soon, I heard it once. I wrote it down twice. I read it back thrice. I typed it up 4 times. And then I incorporated it into a storybook 5 times. And then I edited the storybook. And pretty soon it became my story. And that was the fascinating thing, the hunger to learn, the real sincere desire to make a change in my life. Because I knew when I got to India, I knew there was something there that I didn't want to go back to corporate America for. I didn't want to give it up to go back rushing to, I go, okay, I'm going to stay here till my money runs out, and then I'll rush back to corporate America and join the workforce again. No, thank you. I said, I'm going to find a way to live this life. I'm going to find a way to become efficient so I can continue learning. This is such a privilege. This is such a joy. This is such an enriching experience. I just went for the wealth. So when you have the humility and to surrender, and you have the respect and the thirst and the love to keep learning, then you want to organize your knowledge in ways that will become meaningful and useful to you as you progress. You can look down and you can look back and you can say, this is where I came from? Oh my gosh. This is where I'm going? Oh my gosh. And I think that sincerity, that desire, that hunger for knowledge is really what is going to change our lives so that we are able to integrate our lives into the lives of the Guru. And as we integrate our lives into the Guru, we become a shish instead of a bhakta. Remember, the bhaktas are devotees who come and bow down to the Guru and then go home. And they go back to wherever they came from and do exactly what they were doing before. Whereas the Shishya finds a way to integrate her life into the life of the Guru. So she doesn't have to go home. She has arrived. So I believe that's the most important way, or the most important quality, the most important attribute of a disciple as compared and contrasted with a devotee. Devotee is a bhakta, a disciple is a shishya. Shishya means a mirror. When you look at the shishya, you find the exact spitting image of the Guru. The example that she wishes to project.
Another question from Ambika.
Namaste, Ambika.
Is chanting in kirtan a complete sadhana unto itself? Thank you.
No, it is not. It is a part of a sadhana. Sadhana is a discipline of life. It's not just about chanting or doing kirtan or praying to God when you're sitting down or when you're standing up. But sadhana means doing what you're doing with the love and respect and the privilege that you have to show your Guru how clean you can wash this dish, how clean you can make how nicely you can cut the trees or the weeds in the garden, how nicely you can do what you do because you love the Guru. You want to keep her in a state of harmony. You can't let the weeds overgrow the garden. That's also part of sadhana. Sadhana is also not just sitting and chanting and singing, but there's worship, there's homa, there's dancing, there's understanding what you're doing and why you're doing it, be able to read the scriptures and tell what it means and how did it change my life. Because of this knowledge, it's being able to communicate the inspiration to the next generation of sadhus, so that they will all want to become the Guru as well. They're invited. Everyone's invited to come and look. How can you integrate your lifestyle into the life and the rhythm of life of the Guru. And some will be successful. They become the next Guru. They become the Shishya. And Ambika, I believe that singing and chanting and kirtan alone is not sadhana. It's a portion of sadhana. It's ek ang. But there are so many different limbs of sadhana. We call karma yoga 7 limbs: puja, pat, reciting scriptures, homa, fire ceremony, sangeet, singing, nrit, dancing, pravachan, explaining what we're doing and why we're doing it, and arpan, we're going to offer or serve, and that may be sitting in front of the murti at the altar and putting flowers at the altar or putting food at the altar, or it may be standing over the stove and making food for the devotees, or it may be cutting the weeds in the garden, or programming her computer, or teaching her students, or whatever ways we have found in order to serve the Guru. That's sadhana. All of it together. Holistic. Life is sadhana. Holistic spirituality. It's not about my spiritual life or my spiritual practices and my material life. It's about everything I do in life is spiritual. Singing and doing kirtan and chanting is fun, and it's great, and it's good sadhana, and it's good, nice focus, and it's a wonderful way to demonstrate how much you respect your Guru by taking the scriptures that she chants and we chant them too. But then that's not life. Life is everything. We get up from the asana and we go to the kitchen and we have to cook, and before enlightenment chopping wood and carrying water, and after enlightenment chopping wood and carrying water. You're not going to get away from liberation. Doesn't mean no more chopping wood and carrying water. Liberation means I'm not bound while I'm doing it. I am privileged to do it. I'm not required to do it. This is not an obligation. This is an opportunity. This is not a burden. This is my love made manifest. Om Swami Saraswati Namaha. Namaste.